What's up, everybody? About to start working on this C10 cab because we've got a snow day today. I went ahead and treaded on in here, and since there ain't nothing going on, I might as well start on this since it's kind of been on the back burner. So first things first, I've already sprayed a rust neutralizer on here. That's what that white stuff is. It's all just rust that's been converted and stuff. So what we're about to start doing is we're gonna sand out around these spots over here, clean them up, and I'm gonna make that more of a uniformed rectangle over there so I can make a patch that's just, a little bit more easier to cut out and everything. I'm gonna square this all up and assess what we got going on here, and then I'm gonna start making patches for this spot and for that spot, and start sanding on some of these rust spots to see how bad some of it is, to see if we need to make any more patches. So that's what we're about to start with. Alright, so I've got a little bit of sanding done here on the floor of the C10, and you can see my patch turned out pretty nicely. But I'm finding these divots right here. You can see how those two got a hole going all the way through. Same with that one. Those ones that are real deep like that, I'm going to show you a little trick for that. It's a pretty common trick in the body working world, but what you'll do is you'll actually just take a punch and go right in the middle of that and punch it out, and then on the back side that it'll flare out on the back, and that'll actually give you some meat to do a little bit of weld to fill in that hole. So yeah, you punch it and then that'll blow out on the back and it'll open up, and then that gives you a little place for your weld to grab without just blowing through it. You'll actually have a spot to kind of fill in nice and slow, and then you can fill in all these holes, and then, you know, go on the top and the bottom and grind them smooth and all that good stuff. But yeah, so right now I'm just sanding away. So yeah, we're gonna get a punch after these guys, and some of these ones up through here, just kind of hit them with a punch. If they feel real sturdy, then you don't necessarily have to do that. You just want to get the rust off of them. But you know, if you're going right through them, then that's one that you need to address. So this is what you end up with when you start punching these holes out. As you can see, you can kind of see pretty good on this one here, the way the metal just rolls in, and that'll give you a bite for your welder. So I'm gonna continue to go through here and kind of find these deeper divots, and go through and do this to the rest of them, and then we will fill those in with some weld. Alright, so here is our filled in pinholes. Well, sorry, let me find it here. So there's our filled in pinholes. So now what we're going to do is we'll grind those down, and then whenever I go to start working on the bottom of this later on, we'll grind those from the bottom as well. But so that's how it's done right there, and we get to grinding. So over here on the driver's side, we had this this part that was already cut out, and It was a little wavy on the cut, so I went ahead and removed that. Got some nice uniform rectangle. I'm gonna clean that spot up in a second. And then we'll make our template out of paper and then transfer it over to metal and come tack this guy in. All right, we got our piece cut out here, as you can see. So now you see my black Sharpie line on there. I'll take my grinder and I'll just keep coming down and down and down until I don't see the black line anymore. Because when you trace something out, the inside of your line is going to be the outside of what you're tracing. So what you can do is, as long as your line's still nice and definitive, which some spots it's not because it got hot, what you can do is you can put your template back on there and retrace it on your piece, and then just keep grinding nice and slow, keep taking off until you just get to the very inside of your black Sharpie line, and then you'll know that's where you need to be, and then you can go test fit it, and you may have to make some adjustments from there. But that's just the easy way and the way I like to do these little patches. So all right guys, so we got the passenger side patch panel just all wrapped up, almost wrapped up. Excuse all my extra wire hanging down there. I was coming from the back, from the bottom down there, and there was a slight gap, so I was shooting through. But we got her all filled in, all welded up. So I'm about to go home right now, but tomorrow we'll come in and we'll grind all that weld off, and then you know, maybe do a little bit of straightening if we need to on it. But then we'll just start sanding the rest of this floor down and see if we got any other weak spots. If not, we're gonna go ahead and get all the rest of this rust off of there, and then we'll move on to the back, get this all sanded, get the roof stripped and sanded and all that good stuff. I've already started going around and finding my little dings and dents and circling them on my low spots and high spots. I've already started finding those. Got one there, got a couple up there, a couple going down through here. So once we get the inside all done and stripped and all that good stuff, we'll move to the outside and start filling in some of these spots that are real blatant. And then what we'll do is we'll guide coat it. So if you don't know what guide coat is, it's like a black, pretty much you could use black paint or whatever, any black coating. You coat it on there, and then you'll just long block the whole vehicle. You'll sit there and long block all of it, and then that will, as that black goes away, where it leaves black paint will be a low spot, of course, and where you rub the black paint away before the rest of where you're sanding, that's a high spot. So you'll be able to find your low and your high spots real quick and easy that way, and with the black paint it makes it real visible. So what we'll do is we'll start guide coating the outside of the cab, and then once we find our high and low spots, we'll body work those, and then she'll be ready for primer. And we'll get the entire thing, top, bottom, upside, outside, inside, out, and all that good stuff primered. And then we'll need to come up with a color for the outside. We'll shoot the outside in color first, and then we'll do our bed liner on the floor and on the bottom and on the back of the cab right here and coming up on your footwells here. We'll shoot all that with bed liner and undercoating after you paint the outside, because if you do your bed liner on the bottom and you do your undercoating and all that stuff first, then you won't have a good spot to run your tape lines when you're painting the outside, because tape doesn't stick very well to undercoating. So you do your outside paint first and all that good stuff, and then you can do a tape line on that paint and then go in and do your undercoating and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to leave her off for today. And guys, I promise Ask Body content is coming. It's been a while. I think the last video I did was the streetcar takeover video on it, and that was 3 or 4 months ago. But I'm telling you, something's coming for this. Parts are piling up. Just waiting on more parts to come in, waiting to order more parts. So this thing is about to come back in a serious way. So just wait on that. There'll be some more content coming on this guy very soon. It's just been hiding away over here in the shop for now, but very soon. All right, guys, it's the next day and about to start back on the C10. Today, if I don't get pulled off of it, the goal is to get the rest of the floor all sanded off and get that ground down, and possibly go grab some aircraft stripper, strip the dash, strip that, strip the roof, and get the back sanded, pillars sanded, and just get the entire inside ready. So if we can get that done today, that'd be a good jump in progress. So we're gonna work on that, and then probably, if we can get all that done, we'll probably crank the heat up in here to about 80 overnight because it's so cold outside. This metal's real cold. Probably crank it up to 80 overnight, and hopefully get this metal warmed up, and tomorrow maybe start laying down a little bit of filler on these dents and dings. So may start body working tomorrow, and well, I'm gonna go ahead and fill the apparent dents and dings we got and then guide coat it. So I think we've already gone over that, but so that's the plan of attack for right now. So I got this side all sanded down, and all of this is probably about to get cut out and replaced. I thought maybe we could salvage more of it, but it's so bad. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut all back here, up here, along where we got clean metal. I can deal with this a little bit right here, but I'm gonna make this a straight line across to where we can weld this some good metal. And then I'm gonna do some more cleaning up here and see if we can find a spot that'll clean up to end our panel up there too. And then we'll probably come down to about here or so, and then go around this guy, and then back up through here. Because this stuff right here is not too bad. It looks kind of bad on the camera, but this stuff right here is not too bad. We can get that to sand out, but this area is real bad. So we're gonna cut out around this, up, across, down, and then back through here, and get us a panel made for that. So the perks of having a forklift at your disposal is that right there. So I got it up there strapped to the rack, got it lifted up so that I could get in here, find our spot welds. This is the patch that sorry about the sun there. This is a patch I'm trying to cut out on this passenger side floorboard, and I'm going along finding my spot welds. There's one here. There's one there that I didn't quite get all the way. I've already drilled that one. There's another one right in here. You can't see. Another one right here. So I'm just going through and finding my spot welds and drilling them out, and then that panel will come out. Works out good doing the patch right here, because now we got a spot right here as reference to where we need it to sit, and then we got another spot where we can weld it to and have a little more strength out of it. So worked out pretty good being along this little frame channeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and find these spot welds and get them cut out. All right, so here's the panel all cut out along here, around this guy and over, and then got our little cross support down here all cleaned up. So I'm about to go underneath. I cut into this support all the ways right here. I'm about to go underneath and weld that, and then I'll make my template, and I'll cut the template out, fit it, and then I'll do a couple stitch welds along there, and then I'll go underneath, and I'll actually, each one of these I cut out, I'll fill in from the bottom, so that'll fill that hole in, and also tack the patch panel to the frame rail right there, to that little support going under there. So here's our patch panel. Getting tacked in. So about to put a tack on this corner and get it level, and tack right here, put a tack here, and then I'm gonna go underneath and weld in those spot welds. So here's our panel all stitch welded in. Now time to get out the grinder, grind that guy, grind this guy, and move on to the next step. So here's our patch all ground in. So we're good to go there. On to the next part. Let's see what that is. driven this car and it feels good. It's had a little bit of oil leak since the track day. It's since I don't have a catch can or anything on it, I blew a valve cover gasket, and it's leaking a little bit at the oil pan. But I've been monitoring it for about 2 weeks now from where it's sitting and when I move it around, and it's just kind of a little bit of a seep to it. There's not really nothing. It's not leaking nothing crazy. I check the oil level almost every time I move it, and I mean, it hasn't gone down any, so it's just got a little seep to it. So my service truck's in the shop because it had a def check engine light come on. It's restricting my speed to like 55 miles an hour. So while that's in the shop, I had another truck I could drive, but I figured this is as good as anything, as long as the oil isn't dumping out of it, which it's not. So and anyways, what I haven't revealed to y'all yet is I don't really care if this motor has an issue. So that will be to come. But I don't really want to blow it up, but it doesn't really matter if something does get a little hurt in this motor. So I'll just leave it at that for now. So just gonna do a little shot of me driving this thing around because it's been a little while.